Oscar Cluff is one of the most highly coveted players in the transfer portal. He is a post player that just projects as a high major potential star. South Dakota State is where he played this previous season, averaged 18 and 12, one of the best rebounding players in the entire country. Started his career at Washington State. He was actually, you look back to that Washington State team, Cart. I made this point on a Miles Rice video yesterday, but a couple years ago, they had Oscar Cluff. They had, I believe, Miles Rice. They had Jalen Wells and Isaac Jones all on the same team. Like, looking back, maybe a team that should have done a lot more than they did. But anyways, we didn't know that Oscar Cluff was this good until he got to South Dakota State. It was one of the best players in the country. Well, anyways, up to date, he's taken some visits. Oscar Cluff, the rumor behind the scenes was that Iowa State held the upper hand here and that everyone sort of just expected this would be a done deal. He's going to Iowa State for one reason or another. Turns out he's visiting Purdue and he's visiting Iowa State. Purdue is going to have a chance to try and swoop in and maybe win this recruitment. The timing of this, per On Three, per Joe Tipton, is that Cluff will be at Purdue starting this Sunday through Tuesday, and then he will leave Purdue and head directly to Ames to Iowa State a couple days after that. You are smiling. Why?
They scheduled it for Sunday.
Scheduled it for Sunday, Card.
They know the season. They know there'll be an off season by then.
Well, I'm going to use Matt Painter's own words from 2 weeks ago. When we win, people say we're great at developing players, but when we lose, people say we don't go in the portal enough. So
Ah,
Matt Painter, who is currently in the portal, must know something about whether they're winning or losing.
I guess so. But
Or
just with
or alternatively, Cart, maybe you can win and use the portal. Maybe.
whoa,
Whoa!
whoa,
Had
what
no
a
idea,
thought!
bozos.
What a
Crazy.
thought! What a
Crazy.
thought! But just before I talk about the schools, I just want to make something unequivocally clear. Oscar Cluff is the best center that will enter the portal. He's the best center. He is better than Owen Freeman. Um, he's a little bit different than Owen Freeman now, right? I think Freeman's a little bit more of a finesse big. But Oscar Cluff is a double-double machine. And you look at it, yes, in the Summer League, but also like, gee, as you go through his game logs, he has a double-double against Alabama in their front court. He has 21 and 15 in that game. Um, let's see, even looking back to some other school, he had almost a double double against Colorado. Not necessarily these aren't like world beaters, but I'm saying when he played non, you know, mid major opponents, he was able to have successful games. So I just think that this guy has massive size, obviously at 6'11", 260. If you're a Purdue fan or Purdue person, you just pitch him as being this massive guy that they always have. That's really good. But yeah, I think he's the best big slash center that's going to enter the portal, even if it still has a lot of time to go.
So the thing is, he's really productive. I get a little nervous with big men, specifically big men that are just like uber productive at the mid-major level because it just doesn't we've seen enough from other guys. It doesn't translate like that.
Right.
It can like you can still be a great player. He could still be an all Big Ten player, but he's not going to average 18 and 12 at
No, no,
Purdue.
no, no.
And that's the sell on him coming in. So like I don't really want to push back super strong on you on like he's the best big in the portal. Also, if you offered me Owen Freeman versus Oscar Cluff, I think Owen Freeman would stuff him in a locker. So, like, if you put Owen Freeman on South Dakota State, I think Owen Freeman averages 25 and 15. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. The best comp I have for you on Cluff on what I think like he will be when he moves up a level is Fardaws, AMAC, Big Maple.
Oh,
Fardaws had very similar seasons at Utah Valley to what Oscar Cluff has done at South Dakota State. He jumped up to Texas Tech, averaged 11 and 7. I
yeah.
think that's
Well,
the expectation here.
one difference though, Fardaws didn't miss meals. Oscar Cluff does.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Uh,
But that like and again, this isn't to diss Cluff. He's a great player. This exact thing, like Fardos, would help Purdue immensely if they can land him. So it's good. I would push back strongly on like you're getting the best center in the portal if you get this guy. I don't think that's how it's going to manifest. You're going to get like a piece that helps a good team. That if this is the Caleb first replacement at Purdue would be a massive upgrade.
but what if it's like, okay, maybe best big in the portal is not the best way to put it, even though like I think he's up there with those guys. But also, what about like you could like better of like a fit ad, I guess, to a team?
What
If
dude,
that
let's
makes
not
it,
fit with Purdue because that's one of the interesting things to me. He's not a shooter at all. So is he? Does he work with TKR?
I think so, but I think you get a little bit more like old school Purdue. Like
Which is what?
I think you play Cluff and TKR together.
So they're just like back to the double post thing.
Like, yeah, two
Because
bigs.
Cluff, the thing with Cluff, he's not just gonna like be in the dunker spot like Caleb first is, or as Caleb calls it, the layup spot. But I think like
That's crazy.
to me, like he needs his post touches too, right?
Yeah. I think I
So what
mean,
happens to TKR if you get a like a true low post, need the ball post scorer guy?
oh well, TKR is going to get his touches, but also maybe we can see what Purdue fans been telling us for 2 years that TKR has the ability to shoot.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, I know, but they tell me he does.
He doesn't. I just don't know. Like it'd be great. He's a really good player. He's not the archetype I thought Paint would be after. So I'm like simultaneously really excited that Paint is actually using the portal and for him to like have a priority A guy, like the fact that Cluff seems to be the guy, that's great. And it's sizable to me, sizable update here that he's visiting Purdue first. I think they have a pretty big opportunity here. But I'm just surprised because I thought they'd go after like a Jacobson archetype, somebody that can step out and shoot a little bit. That's not Cluff. So
But then you have both options. I think I don't know. I guess I maybe it's maybe I've been fooled by two bigs being good. Like maybe I watched like Maryland be good doing it, but also like that's different because Derek Queen's so skilled. But I don't know. Like I think the TKR and Clough thing would actually work very well as you have Braden with them and Fletcher, and then whoever's at the three, hopefully shooting well from 3 point range. I think you could have like some very highly effective shooters surrounding a really good front court in TKR and Clough.
and it's just one of those things like just get good players in and figure it out later. Cluff is at the caliber that like you would figure it out between him
Yeah,
and TKR.
at the core of this, Will Berg played tournament minutes, right? So like,
Yeah.
and also like I'll give a little bit to Paint here. He saw what it looks like when a guy, Jacobson, we don't know if what's he's gonna look like. What is he going to look like? Also with guys like his build, you're always kind of you don't wish it, but you are susceptible to injuries given kind of the size of Jacobson. So, if Clough is your other option or someone else, like whether he starts or doesn't or whatnot, I think if you can get him to buy into that, then that's a good move.
Yeah. There is a lot of intrigue with Cluff. Like I'm saying he's not a shooter. He's a great free throw shooter on high
Right.
volume,
But he
78%. So
doesn't shoot threes.
maybe there's a world though where he does. Cause shit, even Cart in his career, he's 5 for 7 from three.
Yeah, shoot more.
Maybe he just needs to shoot more. So maybe that could happen. He's a big time assist rate guy too. 22% assist rate. So I think like you could do high low stuff with him as the high and
He
get him in the
he's
high
pretty
post and figure it
he's
out.
pretty good in like that like kind of like what that short roll and then like dump it off down low, kind of the guy helps up and not over. Like
Yeah.
he's pretty good at that.
Yeah. Him and TKR both short rolling at the same time would be fun for
That'd
me.
be hilarious. And then they
Yeah.
dump it off. They're like, "Aren't you supposed to be in that spot?" Like, no, this is my thing.
It'd be pretty fun. And then the most importantly though, the reason it does make a bunch of sense, he might be the best rebounder in the portal or in the country. Now, again, competition level aside, he was the number one defensive rebounding rate player in the country. He was the fifth best offensive rebounding rate guy in the country. You put a guy that is that good on the boards and just wired to rebound like that, it immediately saves TKR's life so much.
Yeah, 100%. And you have size down there now. I don't necessarily, and I might be wrong here. There might be some numbers that back it up. Even though Cluff has the size, I don't necessarily look at him as like a rim protector, but he's 6'11", 260. He makes people think twice.
Yeah. All right, I'm talking myself into it the more we do this. The expectation before this report from Tipton from everybody was that it was a done deal to Iowa State.
Hmm.
Getting an actual visit obviously means it's not a done deal. Sometimes you see lists come on or like, oh, final two schools, but there's no visits involved, and it really is a done deal. I don't think this is the case. Like Purdue is getting a fair chance to try and sweep Cluff off his feet and steal him from Iowa State. Do you still think Iowa State is the heavy favorite here?
I want to say that, but can I say that with a straight face, with truth, when you have the lead and now it's like you have the date set up, right? But now like he's flirting with other women, kind of. He wants to explore his options. Like he's on Love is Blind. He's going into another pod, even though he kind of already committed to one of the other girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Otz is what's that Spanish show?
Oh, Montoya.
Otz is Montoya here.
Montoya, por favor.
That's Otz right now.
That's a crazy statement when you look at all the details surrounding it. I will say this though. Two things. If he goes to Purdue, Purdue is my preseason number one team right now. They're my preseason number one team.
I know
Two.
you're honest, and I think it's fair. I
Mhm.
just love this. This is a bit we're not even trying to do as a bit. We've called so many teams like if this happens, they're number one, and I love it.
Yeah, and I can't wait. I can't wait to have the argument. It's going to be great. Uh, Two, if I'm Oscar Cluff, this might be a hotter take. I'd rather play next to Joshua Jefferson than play next to TKR.
Why? Isn't this you just hating TKR again?
No, I just think that Joshua Jefferson is a little bit more dynamic than TKR.
TKR had a way better season than Joshua Jefferson. What do you mean by dynamic?
I think he does more than TKR does. TKR is incredible back to the basket scorer, soft touch, all that. I think Joshua Jefferson does everything else better.
Okay. What if Clough wants to win?
Iowa State won more than Purdue.
This year?
Yeah.
One of them's still playing.
One of them was a one of them was a three seed and won more games.
So we're doing a seed line off? Is that what we're doing? Neither one of
My
these teams won anything important. One's still going in the postseason. You just said one would be your preseason number one if they get Clough.
yeah, good. Yeah. I also think that Iowa State would still be playing if they played High Point and McNeese.
So you think Jefferson being more fun to play with or more dynamic than TKR is a better pitch than Braden Smith versus Taman Lipsey?
Well, do you even get to be a part of the Braden Smith experience, or is it like does TKR love this ad?
I think so. I think everybody
Does he?
does. I think everybody does.
Go to Ames.
You're crazy for this.
Oh, you want him in the Big Ten?
I want to see Purdue land a transfer just to prove to them that they can, and then to point fingers at all their fans and be like, I told you that you should do this because now you're acting like you love this and you could have done this a year ago. We can all get along. We can all hold hands and be happy and sing the Boilermaker song. Like, it's not that hard. Go get good players, help your other good players. And that's what Painter's finally trying to do. Again, Clough is really good. I'm not as high on him as you are. I think he would save Purdue's rebounding woes immediately. Those would just go away the moment that he puts on a Purdue uniform. So that's a huge step towards this team competing for a national championship next year. And I will say this, I still think Iowa State's the favorite. We just saw this happen with Owen Freeman this week. I think in the portal, it's best to get the first visit.
Mm.
It's not like high school recruiting where you know, oh, they're going to wait till prom to make their decision, get the last visit. In the portal, shit happens quickly. Get the
Yeah,
person on campus, throw your Hail Mary punch, whatever you got. Let's show him some Zach Edey film, shall we? And I think this could be secured before he even gets to Ames.
yeah. I guess we'll see how it goes. I wonder what an official visit at West Lafayette's like.
So much Harry's,
I love Harry's.
and the volume's on moderate to low. Would you want to make a prediction, formal prediction? Where does he play next year?
I'm going to say Iowa State.
Think he plays at Purdue, where I think he is the fifth leading scorer on Purdue.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.